Queen's University against Regina scored 54 way back in 1923. In 1956, 50 by Edmonton against Montreal. And then in 1980, the Edmonton Eskimos racked up 48 points in that 48-10 triumph over these same Hamilton Tiger Cats. The last time the two teams met in a Grey Cup game. 1st and 10 from the 54. Good hole for Hucklock, and he has another first down.
This is what I've been looking for, Don, is somebody to start to be able to run the football. And when it's Hamilton with a 29-0 lead, if they can get that ground attack going, it's all over for Edmonton. The Eskimos have got to continually make Mike Kerrigan throw the football. That's how they're going to get turnovers.
And they're doing it with two backs that are not usually the ones that are going to run. Bender is usually the guy that's going to run the ball. Now they've got Huckleluck and Tommy in there running the ball. So they know, as far as their offense, they want to try to use up as much time on that clock going down the field.
Jeff Volpe is the injured player, and those defensive backs have taken a pounding this afternoon. With the score, Hamilton 29 and Edmonton nothing. Grey Cup 86. We'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome to Canada, gentlemen. Are you here for business or pleasure?
We're the Fruit of the Loom underwear guys.
And our business is pleasure.
Yeah, we're here to inspect our new plant.
New plant.
I see. And do you have anything to declare?
Just our briefcases.
See? Our super seams keep us strong.
And our super band waistband keeps snapping back.
Wash after wash. Fruit of the Loom underwear. Great quality at a super price.
We want Canada to think of us first. To last.
Gasoline. It can be miserable when you run out. That's when CAA Plus comes to the rescue. The Plus package includes free road service and long-distance towing for those unexpected emergencies. And if you purchase a CAA Plus membership for yourself or as a gift or renew for another year, you could win up to 10,000 kilometers worth of free gas for your family car. Protection, service, and a chance to win free gas. It's all yours with CAA Plus. CAA Plus, on the road for happiness.
Jeff Volpe, the rookie out of the University of Guelph, being treated at that Edmonton Eskimo bench. And that means that Greg Harding comes back into the ball game for the Edmonton Eskimos in that secondary. It's a first down situation for Hamilton at the Edmonton 44-yard line. I'm amazed at the job that offensive line of Hamilton's has done. They've been somewhat maligned over the past couple of years.
Well, we talked in the opening that the team that protected that quarterback the best was going to win. And Mike Kerrigan has got the protection. And on the other side, they've been all over the Edmonton Eskimos. But that offensive line has done a super job.
Kerrigan hasn't had a hand laid on him today, and he's throwing deep for Ingram. Touchdown!
Just an excellent pass by Kerrigan. When you get into those situations and you've been running the ball a lot, and then all of a sudden you just send your man down on a fly pattern, and he sent Ron Ingram, and he just outruns Howard down the field and is able to pick the pass for the touchdown. It's a good play, good call by Kerrigan, because you start getting that defense a little bit sitting back on their heels, trying to come up and make the big play.
The point after attempt by Paul Osbaldiston out of the hold of Tom Porras, and it is good. So with the score, Hamilton 36, Edmonton nothing. Grey Cup 86. We'll be back in just a moment.
Small business, big business, mine, pine, even kid business. Holiday time. Find your holiday answers now at Computerland.
Commodore PC-10, the fully featured and IBM-compatible answer. With color or monochrome graphics, a full 1-year warranty, a powerhouse computer. For economy and features, it's the Commodore PC-10.
Find your holiday answers now at Computerland. Let's just go. Now's the time. You're feeling the heat. Moving to the beat. Get moving to the highlight. Miller High Life. You're moving, so live it. It's your turn now, so take it. Get moving to the High Life. Miller High Life. Get moving to the High Life.
Miller High Skyline. Cold and clear, clean and simple.
Back pass number 186.
36-0 is the score. Ron Ingram on the receiving end of a 44-yard touchdown pass. You know, that young man thought his season was ended back in August at Olympic Stadium in Montreal when he broke a finger. It was a very serious break. The bone came right through, and he didn't think he'd be back in the lineup this season. But here he is, emerging as a star in the win over Toronto last Sunday and scoring a touchdown this afternoon. Tom Richards on the kickoff return. And Richards works his way out to the 49-yard line. Stopped there by Gadavekis. Al McCann down on the sidelines.
Don, it's becoming a total disaster for the Eskimos. The scoreboard 37-0. We had Volpe go down. Now linebacker Frank Balkovec has injured his left knee, and his status is very questionable. The Eskimos are very quickly running out of defensive people to play in this game.
And those hurts always seem to mount when you're on the losing end of a 36-0 scoreboard.
Sure, they sure do. I think it's just an aggressive style of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. That's all this game's been.
Dunnigan over the middle, and the pass is complete to Skinner. He is stopped by Ben Zambiazzi.
Well, you know, Don, earlier in the week, people were picking a big score by Edmonton to win and beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats. But one of the things we talked about is the experience of the Hamilton team being in the Grey Cup for the third time, dealing with all the things that happened during the week, and the difference with Edmonton having new people into a Grey Cup situation like that.
Good point, Chuck. 27 of the Ticat players have participated in previous Grey Cup games. This is Brian Kelly. There's also a penalty flag on the play. I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Rockford is going to be penalized for grabbing a face mask.
Yeah, inadvertently, too. I mean, he just come up to make the tackle, and Brian slipped underneath it, and that hand just come up and caught it, but the referee's right on top of it and called it.
Face mask. No.
Well, you see the out pattern now. Here it comes. Just trying to slide underneath Rockford, and a hand comes up and hits it. No intent made, but that's the way it goes. Referee's right on top of it.
Well, Brian Kelly remembers that 1980 Grey Cup game when he scored a touchdown in that 48-10 triumph. And he provides the Edmonton Eskimos with another first down, and with the penalty, that takes the ball down to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, the deepest penetration of the afternoon for that Edmonton Eskimo offense. Dunnigan will run this one. And he's about a yard short, I believe, of first down, tackled by Frank Robinson.
Well, you know, talking to the defensive ends, one of the things they talk about is trying to contain Matt Dunnigan. And what that does, if you charge too wide on a guy like Matt Dunnigan, he runs in between the defensive end and the tackle. That gives him a wide area to charge through, and you have that whole field to play with as far as a quarterback running up the field. What you like to do is to force him to the sideline or to the outside, and then have your defense react on it.
The Eskimos send out the short yardage offense. They're 2nd and 1. The ball between the 7- and 6-yard lines. Dunnigan will keep. He'll get the first down. He goes over the top, much as he did last week in that Western final against the British Columbia Lions. He took a pretty good jolt on his shoulder and elbow in that game. That elbow is still causing him some problems. He was telling me the other day that it swells up after every game, and he has to ice it down.
Well, he's going to have a long time to rest after this football game, but on this particular time, he's concerned with getting that ball in the end zone. They've got to get that 0 off the scoreboard up there before anything good can start happening. And this, as you said, is the first time that they've been down anywhere close to scoring a touchdown.
1st and goal for the Eskimos. They're at the 5-yard line of the Ticats. 36-0 is the score. Hamilton leading with 8:54 left in this third quarter. Dunnigan to throw. He won't get a chance, and the man there is Mitchell Price to make the tackle.
The one thing about that Hamilton Tiger Cat defense, they have not gone a conservative route. They're coming on with a lot of pressure continuously on Matt Dunnigan. And the best way to do that, as Ron pointed out earlier in the telecast, is to put the pressure all the lanes, fill it with 5 people, and keep the heat on him. And that's what they're doing.
Sack number 6 for the Ticats.
Just a bootleg action. Start one way, come back the other, but he can't get outside because of the black jerseys. You see Frank Robinson way outside. He wasn't in on the play, but you can't go anywhere with him there.
Second and goal, and again he was forced to throw. He gets it away to Kelly. They ruled that he was out of bounds, but he was forced to throw. He had a man in his face, and he had to get it away quickly.
Didn't surprise me either. Number 31, Ben Zambiazzi, came right up the middle, and we know what he'll do to quarterbacks, but watch the catch. That's an excellent catch, even though he's covered about as well as you can cover him, but he couldn't get those feet down in bounds.
An excellent call by the officials on the sidelines. He came down with that foot on the white line. So it is third and goal. The ball back at the 14-yard line. And at this point, the Eskimos have no alternative but to go for it. Sincar into the ball game in place of Richards. Donegan gets away from the initial pressure, but he can't escape the other two.
Well, they're continually putting that pressure on Donegan as Zambiazzi comes on a blitz up the middle. And he puts the pressure and makes the initial grab on him back there, and then the rest of the defense catches up. And that's what they're going to have to do, keep that pressure on him. Hamilton has not gone the conservative route. They're playing tough throughout this game.
It didn't matter which way Donegan turned after he escaped Zambiazzi. There's nowhere to go. Frank Robinson is behind him, so if he tries to wheel out of there, he's still going down.
I don't think I've seen Ben Zambiazzi have a better football game in his 10-year CFL career.
The way he's played, I'd have to agree with you.
Dan Hucklack, the ball carrier.
You know, right now, Ron, the enemy of the Edmonton Eskimos is the clock, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats just happen to be in the way because as much time as they used in moving up the field and didn't come up with any points, it's a favor for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And if they can continually move their offense out, Hamilton now, and use up some more time on that clock, it really becomes a problem for Edmonton.
Well, Dale Sanderson is the injured player, but right now let's get a report from that Hamilton bench with Steve Armitage.
Don, I don't think I have ever seen the head coach of the Hamilton Ticats, Al Bruno, as happy as he was on that last exchange. He drove his fist into the air, almost as if to say, I can taste my first Grey Cup as head coach. He is a very, very happy man at this point in the game.
Well, as Al paces back and forth on that bench, he doesn't show much emotion. On the odd occasion, we've seen a wee bit of a smile cross his countenance. He caught a glimpse of one right there, but the way he paces back and forth, one would think he was trailing by about 15 rather than leading by the 36-0 margin that the Ticats enjoy. And on the other side, the expression on the face of Jackie Parker pretty much tells it all. The player of the quarter century in the Canadian Football League in 1954, 55, 56, leading the Edmonton Eskimos to Grey Cup triumphs. He was on the losing end in 1960. You remember that game, Ron Lancaster?
Well, I sure do. My first one was his last one, and I just felt privileged to see him play because I'd heard so much about him, and he was every bit they told me he was.
Second and 5. Kerrigan throwing deep, and he makes the catch. Ingram at the 48 of the Edmonton Eskimos, a 32-yard gain.
Well, right now, the Edmonton team is coming on with the blitz. They've got to come up with some big plays. And Ron Ingram's out there knowing that they're going to be in man-to-man coverage a great deal of the time, and he just beats the defensive back to the inside. And when you get that position, just put yourself between the defensive back and the ball and come up with the catch, and that's what Ron did.
Well, as you say, they come after him. Mike Kerrigan's going to step away from a hit. He's going to catch a hand across the head, but he comes up, throws it a little short. But Mark Jackson just didn't see the football. Ingram did and come back and got it.
6:10 is the time remaining in the third quarter. Kerrigan won't get a chance to throw. The ball is loose. Who's got it? I think the Ticats have recovered. The first time that Stuart Hill has been able to get loose from his defensive end spot, and he dropped Mike Kerrigan.
Well, these are the type that hurt. He doesn't see him coming. Kerrigan couldn't get rid of the ball. Stuart Hill was unblocked. And when you come from the blind side, the quarterback has no chance to see it. Very fortunate to get the ball back.
Ball is back at the 54-yard line. 2nd and 15 for the Ticats. Volpe was there. Balkovec was there to bring down Dan Hucklack after he went high for that throw from Mike Kerrigan. But that forces the Hamilton Tiger Cats into a punting situation.
The impressive thing right now about Kerrigan is he has not gone into a shell and become conservative. He is still trying to come up with the big plays, throwing the ball up the field. There's a tendency when you get that far ahead, run the ball a couple of times and then punt. But he's going for it all.
Well, many thought that the Edmonton Eskimos would have the edge in the punting category. When you don't have to punt, there's not going to be much of an edge. But this one is blocked by Frank Balkovec. Larry Ruck may have also been there. And the Edmonton Eskimos recover down at the 36-yard line. So the Eskimos will get a big turnover with a first down at the 36. Osbaldiston's punting attempt was blocked.
Well, you'd see this block on the punt. They got to come up with some big plays. And one way to do that is on the punt. Try to get in there and come up with a big block as they did there and get the turnover. Try to take it in the end zone.
Larry Ruck was the man who blocked it. So with the score, Hamilton 36 and Edmonton nothing. Grey Cup 86. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you're a young Canadian thinking about where you're going, you're beginning to see the obstacles. The high cost of university, the difficulty of learning a high-tech trade. Think about the Canadian Armed Forces. We need you. We'll help you get a degree or learn a skill and guarantee you a job. Visit a recruiting center and talk to us. It's your choice, your future. The Canadian Armed Forces.
This man represents one of the most famous computer companies in the world. Universally respected by its customers for security and reliability. It's the only computer company in Canada that offers a full 1-year warranty and the security of extended warranty protection on every product that bears its symbol. The company, if you haven't already guessed, is, you guessed it, and the warranty is called AppleCare.
Larry Ruck, number 47, who got that fumble recovery. He took over from Frank Balkovec. His game is over. Frank is out for the rest of the game, meaning his season is over, and the Eskimos are far behind.
Number 3, Dixon. Pass incomplete. It was intended for Allen, knocked down by Lance Shields. It will be 2nd and 10. There's a penalty flag down inside the 20-yard line.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton, number 16. First down.
Howard Fields is charged with interference, providing the Eskimos with a first down. They are at the 16-yard line. That last touchdown, by the way, for the Ticats gave them 502 Grey Cup points. The first team to surpass the 500 mark in Grey Cup history. Dunnigan dumps it off. Incomplete. He was looking for Johnston. 2nd and 10 for the Eskimos.
Well, you know, Don, I was at a breakfast meeting with Matt Dunnigan on Thursday, and we were sitting around at the table, and what we were talking about was the problem he was having with his concentration level with all the things that were going on. This is his first Grey Cup, and there's a lot of things that go on during that week that take you away from your game plan as far as your concentration. And that showed up early in the first half of this game.
2nd and 10. Pass is complete to Allen. He takes it out of bounds for a first down in front of Lance Shields.
What they've got to do is just what he did there. Throw possession-type passes. Don't try to get it all back at once. Move the ball methodically down the field and put it in the end zone. If you start trying to throw those deep ones, you're going to get yourself in trouble. They picked up the blitz that time and gave him some time to work one-on-one.
A gain of 12 for Allen, and that is a 1st and goal now from the 3.
Well, this time Zambiasi has come up the middle, and he's picked up on the block, and that's what they've got to have to give Dunnigan a little more time to find his receivers.
First and goal, Edmonton from the 3-yard line of the Ticats. Hand off to Johnston. He struggles and gets to about the 2. The last time they were down here, they had a first and goal from the 5, and they failed to score as they were driven back. That time, Johnson really had a struggle to pick up 1 yard.
Well, that Hamilton Tiger Cat defense hasn't given up a touchdown yet today, and right now they'd love nothing better than to turn them back here and say there's no way you're getting into that end zone. So they've got to put it on the ground and keep driving straight at them and defeat the strength, and that's that defensive front four.
At this stage of the ball game, I think that Ticat defensive unit is thinking shutout.
Sure they are. They got to be.
Second and goal. Dunnigan keeps. Penalty flags fly. No indication from the officials that Dunnigan got into the end zone, and it appears as though the penalty call is against Edmonton.
Procedure, Edmonton number 59.
Leo Blanchard. Didn't like that one. That takes the ball back to the 6-yard line.
Well, they're continually using up time on that clock, and that's a plus for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They're doing everything they can to hold them from getting into that end zone. As Ronnie just pointed out, it's a matter of pride up there, and they want to keep it that way.
3:04 is the time remaining in this third quarter. It was 29-0 at the half. Ticats with a 44-yard touchdown strike from Mike Kerrigan to Ron Ingram early in the third quarter. Damon Allen now in at quarterback. Second down play, penalty flags in the end zone. Allen is going to run it. He should get in. He does. No indication yet as to the penalty.
There's no infraction on the play. Touchdown.
Well, referee John Ireland explains it, so the touchdown does stand.
Well, it's play action. Get him outside. Watch number 31, Ben Zambiasi. Now, he's going to come as soon as Allen looks like he's going to cross that line of scrimmage. He comes a long way to make the hit, but Allen got that momentum forward and into the end zone, so that's a big plus for them.
Well, you take Ben Zambiasi is sitting there reading, and as a linebacker, he was just sitting there watching the backs, and when he saw Damon Allen break to the outside, he just reacted to it, just got there a little bit too late.
Damon Allen took a pretty good shot right at the goal line from Lance Shields. This is the point after by Tom Dixon, and the Edmonton Eskimos score their first touchdown of this 1986 Grey Cup game, but they've got a long way to go with only 17 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. 36-7 is the score in favor of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And well-deserved. 36 points. They had controlled everything, and it took 2 tries. They got down inside the 5 the first time and was shoved back. This time, it took them a while to get in there again. So they're making them earn everything. They're not giving them nothing, and I know there's no one more disappointed than the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense because they didn't want them in there at all.
John Ireland explaining to Al Bruno what happened down on that goal line.
Coach Bruno!
Take it easy, Al. You're leading 36-7. There's no point now in taking an unnecessary penalty.
When you're talking about the pride of the defense, Al Bruno still doesn't want to give up anything right now, and he's making a point of that to the official.
Ed Schmitz, the assistant coach, trying to calm the head man down at that Hamilton Ticat bench. Champion and Fields are back for this kickoff by Tom Dixon. Fields will take it at the 15-yard line. And Fields goes down at the 39. 2:32 is the time left in the third quarter. 36-7. The Hamilton Tiger Cats surprising a lot of football people, I'm sure, all across the country and wherever you're looking in this afternoon. We hope you're enjoying the action from the stadium at BC Place. It's 74th edition of the Grey Cup game. I think those fellas are enjoying the game, what they can remember of it. Kerrigan is throwing deep down the sidelines for Steve Stapler. One of those passes where he throws it up there to let the wide out run under it.
One of the things Mike Kerrigan could point out is when he comes up to the line of scrimmage, he can take a look at those defensive backs. If they're straight across the board within 5 yards of the immediate receivers on the line of scrimmage, he's reading man pretty well, knowing that they're going to be in a coverage with make calls for a blitz, and he can throw the ball deep to somebody. And Edmonton will be doing a lot of blitzing the rest of the game to try to put pressure on Kerrigan and come up with the big plays.
2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns this afternoon for Mike Kerrigan. 2nd and 10. Sideline pattern intended for Ingram, incomplete. He was being covered by Mark Jackson, and that forces the Ticats to again send out their punting unit. And the last time that Paul Osbaldiston dropped back to punt, only his 4th punting effort of the afternoon, it was blocked.
And I think they'll come after it again. They need the big plays. They can't wait on the football to come downfield, and Steve Stapler is going to kick.
Well, Osbaldiston has been very slow in getting that kick away, so they're going to send Stapler out there. He kicks it left-footed. He hangs it high. It's taken by Steve Howlett, and there's nowhere to go as he had a whole group of Ticat people on that punt coverage team downfield waiting for him. That's the advantage you get when you kick it high, as Stapler did.
Especially if you kick it around the 40-yard mark. That ball will get up and hang up there somewhere around 4.5, 5 seconds. You'll get good coverage on it, and they got excellent coverage. They aren't interested in a long punt. They just wanted a safe one.
That kick only traveled 33 yards. 2 yards on the return by Howlett. 1:28 remaining. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Dunnigan back in at quarterback. The draw play with Milson Jones. And Milson Jones has a gain of about 6 before being stopped by the middle linebacker, Ben Zambiazzi.
Well, that draw play for Edmonton has been a good play for them all year long with Chris Skinner and Milson Jones running that. But unless you get that sprint out game going with Matt Dunnigan, you don't use it that much. And they haven't been able to get anything going with Dunnigan running outside and using his sprint out abilities.
2nd and 4 from the 44. Good hole as that opened up quickly for Chris Johnston, and he is stopped by Paul. A gain of 10. 1st and 10 for the Eskimos.
I think the Eskimos are going to be able to run the football a little bit now. The Ticat linebackers are probably sitting a little bit deeper, more concerned with big plays through the air, so that they're going to allow them to run the football a little bit, but they'll shut them down when it's time.
Dunnigan dumps it off. Punishing hit by Leo Ezerins after Milson Jones made the catch.
As Ronnie pointed out, as Leo dropped back, he took a deep drop, and he was just waiting and reading, and by the time the ball got to Milson Jones, he was there with the big hit. So they're going to sit back and just let them throw the ball in front of them and try to let Edmonton use up that clock.
This should be the final play of the third quarter. It's 2nd and 5 for the Eskimos. They trail 36-7. Milson Jones makes the catch. Milson Jones might score. Caught by Rockford and Lance Shields. And that's the end of the third quarter. A 45-yard gain for Milson Jones. The score is Hamilton 36, Edmonton 7. Grey Cup 86 will return with the fourth quarter in a moment.
Now you can shave closer and smoother all over, face, neck, and sideburn. Because Braun has created the totally new system 1, 2, 3. It adjusts 3 ways.
1.
So now you can shave
2.
Closer and smoother.
3.
All over. Redesigned for extra smoothness, the foil is now pearl finished and platinum coated. The revolutionary Braun system 1, 2, 3 shaves closer and smoother all over for your money back.
Someday soon, communities like this could satisfy all their energy needs with a single remarkable fuel. This fuel will warm their homes, heat their water, and through an efficient fuel cell could also light their lights and run all their equipment. Already this fuel is powering thousands of vehicles. This fuel is Canadian natural gas. Natural gas. We're putting our energy into research.
Once in a long while, a truly great saving comes along. This is it. From Hyundai. Factory rebates on new 86 models in stock. $750 on 86 Pony GL and GLS. $750 on 86 XL. $1,000 on 86 Stellar GSL. Lots of models and colors, standards and automatics, immediate delivery, and a check from Hyundai for $750 or $1,000. Canada's best car value just got even better.
To start the fourth quarter, it's 1st and goal for the Eskimos from the 5. The give is to Chris Johnstone, and he fights to the 2-yard line.
Well, the last time they brought him down to this situation was a pass to Milson Jones. As Dunnigan reads hot, he throws it right in there, and a great catch by Milson Jones. He just wasn't able to take it all the way to the end zone.
Jim Rockford showed some pretty good speed to track him down coming from his cornerback position. 2nd and goal. The ball is on the 3-yard line. Second man through. Milson Jones is stopped at the 1. Linebacker Leo Ezerins was there to make the tackle. It will be 3rd and goal. And Jackie Parker sends out the short yardage unit.
I think he's going to put big guys in there and go after it. I think they crossed them up a little bit. I think they were expecting Dunnigan to fake that and roll out with it. But, you know, both times they've been down there and tried to pass on 2nd down, they've been sacked. This time they decided to go straight at him.
3rd and goal from the 1. Dunnigan keeps. Penalty flags fly. He did not get in. Let's wait for the penalty call. It appears as though it's going against the Eskimos.
Procedure. Edmonton number 59. Decline. First thing's up.
That's good defense by the Ticats, stopping them on 3 shots from the 5-yard line.
Well, I was in the dressing room just before the game started, and Walker and those guys were so intense in wanting to play really well this game to come up with a victory in the Grey Cup, and that's what they're doing right now. You get down there in that situation on the goal line, you just play it tough, and they're playing it tough.
So with the score, Hamilton 36 and Edmonton 7, Grey Cup 86. We'll be back in just a moment.
Building a secure future starts with a solid foundation. As of January 1st, changes to your Canada pension plan will make it more flexible, more generous, and more realistic. A solid foundation for a more secure tomorrow.
We can all use this bit of good news today.
You can get details by calling this number now, or look for the ad in your local newspaper.
When you buy a new Audi, the Audi card covers virtually everything for 3 years. It's a tangible expression of the ideal owner-manufacturer relationship. You get to own one of our fine cars. We get to look after it.
That stat, second from the bottom on the right-hand side of your screen, is pretty much the story of Grey Cup 86. The turnovers, 8 by the Edmonton Eskimos, and with their failure to convert that 3rd down gamble, that will be turnover number 9. Bit of an imposition here on Mike Kerrigan, operating from the 1-yard line, but he's in the comfortable position of being ahead by 29 points.
I think those 8 turnovers are a result of what we just saw on that 3rd and 1. That Hamilton defense is just all over him. And we've said this all year, when you can't get in from 1 yard out, you're not going to win the football game. So they're down there 3 times, score once. The Hamilton defense shut them down.
Second down play. And Kerrigan is not going to put it in the air. He stays on the ground, and that will bring out the punting unit. A crowd of 59,621 taking in this 74th edition of the Grey Cup here at BC Place Stadium, and that is a record for this facility.
You know, the really unfortunate thing for the Edmonton Eskimos is when they do move it down there, they don't score. They've used up a lot of time on the clock. You know, there's 2 opportunities to possibly come up with touchdowns that are gone that you can't recover.
12:46 remaining in this 4th quarter as Steve Stapler stands in the end zone for this 3rd down kick, his 2nd punt of the game after replacing Paul Osbaldiston. Movement at the line of scrimmage, but there are no flags, and again a high kick by the left-footed Stapler. Penalty flag as Richards takes it. There will be a no yards call, and Richards works his way inside the 20-yard line. No doubt that a couple of players had encroached upon that 5-yard area. A 35-yard kick by Stapler, a 19-yard return.
4 yard. Hamilton, number 31. Penalty is declined. First down.
Ben Zambiazzi was just a little over anxious to make the tackle on that 3rd down punt, and it will be a 1st and 10 situation from inside the 20-yard line. They're the winners of the PWA contest, the Pacific Western Airlines winner, and 100 of his friends making the trip to Grey Cup 86. I'd have a tough time finding that many people to come with me if I won that contest. Grover Covington again putting the pressure on Matt Dunnigan and bringing him down for another loss.
Well, we talked in the opening, if you bring 4 men, you've got to get the defensive ends wide. It can buy you time to throw the football, but watch how much time Dunnigan has and can't find anybody open, and that you're going to run out sooner or later. And coming from the outside, Grover Covington forces him to duck. Mike Walker finishes it.
9 turnovers, 8 sacks. You're not going to win many football games when you have those type of statistics. He almost got trapped again, trying to find a receiver. He can't spot a man in the clear. Dunnigan running all over the field. Mitchell Price didn't realize he had the football. Finally, he throws deep into the end zone. Incomplete. He was looking for Allen, who was being covered by Lance Shields. I think some of those big defensive linemen were plumb tuckered out.
Well, looking down on the field right now, they're all on their knees. They're having a hard time breathing. He must have ran 150 yards, and you got to give a lot of credit to the defensive backs to just stay back there. He'll come back again. Wait for him. Don't chase him.
Watch Mitchell Price when Dunnigan comes back. He didn't realize that Dunnigan still had the ball, or maybe he just didn't want to bother chasing him anymore.
And after that, he throws it incomplete.
The injured player is David Sauvé, and of course you have to be concerned anytime this young man goes down. He has missed a year and a half because of an injury that threatened to end his career and possibly cause him some great hardship for the rest of his life. But he came back for the playoff game last week and was looking forward to this Grey Cup game. And apparently he is going to be all right. Well, with the score, Hamilton 36 and Edmonton 7, Grey Cup 86. We'll be back in just a moment.
Towers is going to be part of your family's Christmas this year. Come to Towers Wishes Sale and discover the holiday magic. And the magic starts with this compact Sanyo microwave oven with electronic timer and removable glass tray. You'll enjoy home-cooked meals without the waiting. Feeding a larger family? This Sanyo microwave is perfect with a touch control panel, electronic timer, and temperature probe. 2 great values on Sanyo microwaves. So come to Towers Wishes Sale now and enjoy the holiday magic. Towers, we're part of your family.
This season, the NFL is using Sony video equipment, Betamax and Trinitron in nearly every phase of its operation, even to help settle certain controversial calls. Betamax, with its sharp picture and super slow motion, and the legendary Trinitron TV. Now you too can make the same call the NFL made and choose Sony. Sony, the one and only official video equipment of the NFL.
Well, David Sauvé has gone off to that Hamilton bench, but apparently he is okay. And we're informed that he does have a problem with asthma, and that caused him some difficulties out there. He was one of those involved in chasing around Matt Dunnigan. So Mark Napierkowski goes into the ball game, replacing Sauvé at that defensive end spot. Dunnigan fumbles the football. Who's got it? Hamilton recovers.
Third down and about 18, so when he fumbled the football, it was going over to those Ticats anyway. But again, it shows you that they cannot handle that defensive rush of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They're all over them.
Well, they thought they'd come back into the game with Damon Allen, and he got the same type of treatment as Matt Dunnigan's been getting. A lot of pressure from that defensive line, and it caused a fumble.
What a game Grover Covington has had. He started it all. And that is the 10th turnover of the ball game. And Ken Hobart is now in at quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and he decides to go straight up the middle and picks up about 4 yards before being stopped by Tom Tuinet.
Well, good save play by Ken Hobart. He likes to run that ball. And this time he came out in a situation where he was trying to run a quarterback draw. Just drop back 3 or 4 steps, try to let those linebackers drop off, but except now those linebackers are coming. So he's got to beat them one-on-one at the line of scrimmage.
Ken Hobart, who was the star of the Ticats' success a year ago, losing his starting job to Kerrigan, now coming on in relief late in the football game with a Hamilton win all but assured, throwing the ball to Tony Champion, tackled by Cliff Tony. That will be close to a first down, close enough for a measurement. Hobart was saying he's looking forward to training camp next year, where he can battle for that starting quarterbacking job with Mike Kerrigan.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, when you get 2 quarterbacks, especially I know with Allen and Dunnigan in Edmonton, and you've got Kerrigan and Hobart in Hamilton, everybody wants to be the starter. It makes for great competition. That can do nothing but help your football club.
Definitely, Ron. You're so right there, because I think a lot of people assume that there's hostilities when one guy starts and the other guy doesn't. But the thing is, everybody wants to try to win and do the best thing they can. Now, the competition is good for both guys.
Third down gamble for the Ticats. Hobart will keep. There wasn't a great deal of room, but from up here it looked as though he may have been close enough to that 35-yard line for a first down. 9:38 is the time remaining. 36-7 the score. The Ticats leading the Eskimos.
Excuse me, Don, but I think you can watch now a little bit as Ken Hobart gets his drives going, and he can keep things going. For him to roll out to the outside and just buy time. If the receiver's open, he'll throw it. If not, he'll have the ability to run with it and to keep that clock moving.
Well, Hobart lives in Idaho, and he was telling me that had he been the starting quarterback, there would have been a large contingent of family and friends making the trek up here to watch him play. First and 10. Jed Tommy takes the ball across the 35, and he's driven back by Stuart Hill. Right now, the Hamilton Tiger Cats quite content to keep that ball on the ground, keep that clock running, ever closer to a Grey Cup triumph.
Al Bruno just looking down there, pacing back and forth as he always does. He just keeps looking up at that clock. He just wishes just keep running all day. No timeouts, no nothing.
But a lot of people might forget that at one point this season, the Hamilton Tiger Cats were 1-5. Hobart throwing deep for Ron Ingram, incomplete. Mark Jackson was defending against Ingram, who has scored the only Hamilton touchdown of this second half. A 44-yard strike from Mike Kerrigan early in the third quarter.
Well, you know, sometimes you come up to the line of scrimmage, it becomes a guessing game what kind of defense they're going to be in. Right now, Ken Hobart and Hamilton Tiger Cats know that Edmonton's going to be coming with the blitz, and so they're using pass patterns that they can run against man-to-man coverage.
Tom Richards and Steve Howlett are back for the third down kick by Steve Stapler. He stands at his own 21-yard line. An end-over-end kick that is taken by Howlett at the 37-yard line. Nowhere to go. Good coverage once again by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 8:14 is the time left in the ball game with the score. Hamilton 36 and Edmonton 7. Grey Cup 86. We'll be back in just a moment.
Jeep Cherokee has just been reborn. It can now be ordered with a 4-liter, 6-cylinder, 173-horsepower engine. Nothing in Cherokee's class even comes close. In fact, with this engine and a choice of 2 or 4 doors and 2 shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive systems, you could say nothing's in Cherokee's class.
A great name in beer should be the start of a truly great tasting light beer. Now it's here. New OV Light. A great taste in beer comes to light.
This season, the NFL is using Sony video equipment.
Sorry.
Here, Brad. You try it.
Its overtime formula helps stop wetness and gives you all-day odor protection. New Right Guard antiperspirant solid. It works overtime.
Well, I don't think the Ticats will be selling any, but they might be consuming a Magnum or 2 in their dressing room at the conclusion of this ball game.
Well, it's been a well-earned one also. I mean, they have played today. I think it was commented on early in the football game that they came out in a very business-like fashion. There was no jumping around. They knew the job they had to do, and they've done it.
And in the second half, 4 times the Eskimos have been inside Hamilton's 10-yard line, and they've come away with just 1 touchdown. That speaks well for that Hamilton Tiger Cat defensive squad. Dunnigan throwing deep off the fingertips of Gary Allen. Or Doug Allen, excuse me.
The thing I've noticed today, they've had very few receivers running free anywhere. Anytime our Edmonton receiver is downfield, there's a black jersey running side by side. In fact, it looks again like Lance Shields got just as good of opportunity to catch this ball as Allen did. But they've been everywhere they've had to be.
Bob Layden points out the 2 inside receivers, House and Sinkar, have yet to make a catch. Rick House gets his first of the ball game for a first down, stopped by Lance Shields. There's been some good-natured ribbing going on all week between House and Paul Bennett. They are brothers-in-law. I think that will continue over the winter months.
Always nice to have the last say. Right now, Paul Bennett's in the driver's seat.
7:17 is the time left. 1st and 10. Dunnigan completes the pass for first down to Tom Richards, or at least very close to it. Let's see where they spot the football. It's going to be about a yard short.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats do not mind giving up those type of passes to them. Keep the ball in front of them. Don't let them get the big score or the big play into the end zone quickly.
Richards and Sinkar have been alternating at that slot back position. And there's an injured Hamilton Ticat. Frank Robinson is the player who is down.
The nice thing about this now is that Ed Gadavekis gets the chance to play. He's been around a few years, was a starter until this man came along, Frank Robinson. They're going to get them all into the football game today. And, you know, there's so many great football players never had the opportunity to play in a Grey Cup, let alone win it. They're going to all get their shot today.
Well, Frank Robinson looks as though he's going to pick up his second Grey Cup ring with his second team. He was with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in 1984.
Well, Don, I think you said the right thing there when you talked about a Grey Cup ring. Talking to the guys, you know, you get paid for the game, but the more important thing is to win a championship and have that Grey Cup ring. And if you ask any of those players down the field, that's the key to this game, being the champion and winning. And that's what they want, is that ring.
2nd and 1 for the Edmonton Eskimos. Gadavekis comes into the ball game, replacing Robinson. Doug Allen goes wide left. Kelly comes out to the right. Dunnigan keeps. He gets the first down. 6:22 is the time left. 36-7 the score. The Ticats totally dominating in the first half, allowing the Eskimos very few offensive opportunities. As a matter of fact, their net offense was -1 through the first 30 minutes. And that's one of the reasons it was a -1. Another quarterback sack with Ed Gadavekis that time breaking through to drop Matt Dunnigan.
Well, we talked in the opening just about a 5-man rush by the Hamilton Tiger Cats, that they would control the inside, and coming from the outside is Ed Gadavekis, the linebacker. And watch him squeeze him down. He gets the outside pressure. Those 3 men inside keep him contained. Get him from the outside. They got him.
They almost had him again, but Dunnigan got away. And he's down by Grover Covington back at the 39-yard line. He had a reprieve, but he couldn't escape Grover Covington on a great second effort by the Hamilton defensive end. And that's 10 sacks now for 87 yards.
One of the things about Matt Dunnigan is the fact that when people put the rush on him, he's able to duck and elude the tackle and get free upfield. Today, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, after he's eluded them, are picking him up again and making the tackle before he breaks the line of scrimmage and gets upfield. And they're doing an outstanding job of putting the pressure on him that way. One guy might miss, but there are 3 other guys who are coming very quickly on him.
The man who missed him initially is the player down, Mike Walker. He's had an outstanding season for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I think he might just be a little winded.
Well, you know, they've played with so much intensity today. It's awful warm in the dome at the best of times. And when you get things going as they did early in the football game, you do use up an awful lot of energy. And they have chased Matt Dunnigan all over this field today. They've got to be a little bit tired, but they're a happy tired, and that's the difference.
You see the time remaining, 5:09, with the score 36-7 in favor of the Hamilton Tiger Cats over the Edmonton Eskimos. Mike Walker is still down. And it's been that type of an afternoon for Jackie Parker. As we wait for Walker to be assisted off the field, let's join Steve Armitage at the Hamilton bench.
John, I've got the Rock with me. Rocky DiPietro. Rocky, you're 5:09 away from the Grey Cup. Can you taste it?
We can taste it. We're starting to right now. We just don't want to celebrate till the end. But I'll tell you, the defense has played a great game today, and they've carried us for the last 3 years, and this is a great tribute to them.
The offense hasn't been too shabby. It came through when it had to.
Well, we put some points on the board, but they gave us great field position all day, and great team effort. That's what it took to get us here, and I think we showed it today.
Is this the high in a long career, Rock?
Very high right now. I'll tell you, I'm going to enjoy it for the next 6 months.
Don, back to you.
Well, a little disappointment on Thursday night for Rocky DiPietro when he was the runner-up to Joe Poplawski for the Shenley Award as the outstanding Canadian. But I'm sure the performance this afternoon will compensate.
Well, I guarantee you, Don, for winning, I think you'll take winning that championship over the individual honor that you could get as a Shenley Award. That's a great honor to be up for the Shenley and win it. But the whole key is working as a team and winning the championship.
Well, I said that Mike Walker may have just been winded. Unfortunately for Walker, it appears to be more serious than that, as he's assisted off the field by Jason Riley and Ralph Scholes. Tom Dixon drops back to punt. Good kick that Paul Bennett takes at the 27-yard line, and he simply steps out of bounds. Penalty flag flies as I think it was Larry Ruck who made the late hit. No, it may have been Craig Schaefer over there. Bennett stepped out of bounds.
Major, on this.
Well, the foul is definitely against the Edmonton Eskimos, and that will improve the field position for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Well, you take the ball down here on the punt return. Paul just steps out of bounds, and Ruck just sticks his helmet in his back while he's out of bounds and make the hit late. You can't have that. You can't do that. That's very dangerous.
1st and 10. The ball is at the 47-yard line with 4:46 remaining in the game. Ken Hobart, the quarterback. He's going to run with it. And he is upset on the far side of the field by Ron Howard, the cornerback.
Well, so often, Don, when the Hamilton Tiger Cats send both of those backs in motion to one side and Ken Hobart's in the game, they automatically expect him to sprint to that side. So they overplay it, and that's why he's coming back trying to run the draw himself.
He managed to pick up 3 yards at 2nd and 7. The ball at the 51. 4:08 is the time left to play. Hobart throwing deep for Stapler. It's intercepted. Ron Howard steps in front of Steve Stapler to abbreviate that Ken Hobart throw. And the Eskimos take over with 3:58 left in the game.
Well, the reason that was intercepted is the heat was put on Ken Hobart, and when it was, he just threw the ball without getting set and lofted it up in the air, and that left the defensive back in a position where he could just float right under it and pick it off for the interception. You got to get planted. In this case, he didn't have a whole lot of time to get planted and throw the ball.
Well, when you come with a halfback blitz, Jeff George came number 29. Hobart knew right now there's no one to pick him up. He gambled and lost.
Damon Allen, the quarterback. Throwing that screen to Milson Jones. And Gadavekas comes over to make the tackle. Jones worked his way out to the 38-yard line. Matt Dunnigan started the ball game. He and Damon Allen have alternated in the second half, although Dunnigan has done most of the signal calling for the Edmonton Eskimos. 2nd and 2, Edmonton. With time to throw over the middle, a first down as it's complete to Marco Sincar. But Ben Zambiazzi from his middle linebacking position makes the tackle, the first catch of the afternoon for Sincar, who, by the way, was with the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the 1980 Grey Cup game. So he's been on the losing side in a rout, both times with different teams. With the score, Hamilton 36 and Edmonton 7, Grey Cup 86. We'll be back in just a moment.
You've searched, you've experienced, and now you know what it is you really want. Mercury Sable. The beautiful new style of success is ready and waiting for you. Take off in a car that embodies all the best of tomorrow's technology today. Mercury Sable. The wait is over. There's never been a better time to buy and take immediate delivery. Mercury Sable, sedan or wagon. Everything you've always wanted is here and now at your Mercury dealer.
The midnight cough. It can rob you of sleep, disturb your family, and hurt your throat. But there is relief with Benylin DM. It's specially formulated to effectively relieve coughs due to colds for up to 8 hours by soothing the throat and gently calming the cough control center. Benylin DM, specially formulated to relieve coughing. It helps quiet the midnight cough.
In this year's Grey Cup game, the Carling O'Keefe Sports Game Stars will each receive a 36-inch Sony Videoscope state-of-the-art television set presented by Remington, makers of the 3M surgical clippers and the microscreen rechargeable. Advanced shaving technology only from Remington. To the live action as Damon Allen throws deep. He's looking for Kelly. Incomplete. He was being covered by Lance Shields. You know, picking those defensive game stars is going to be a tough chore. Hugh Campbell, who led the Eskimos to those 5 straight Grey Cup triumphs that ended in 1982, now in the role of general manager, looking on from the press box here at the BC Place Stadium.
That's his wife, Louise Campbell. Awful happy to be back in Edmonton, but they can't be happy with today's performance. But hey, that's the way it goes. He was concerned about the youth on his football club, and it's come true.
Well, he cautioned them after their win in the Western Final over the BC Lions that you haven't won it yet, fellas. Pass complete to Rick House. And House is down to the 27-yard line. Lance Shields made the tackle. Campbell was concerned that they may have thought the Western Championship against BC was their Grey Cup game.
Well, both teams are coming off of a highly emotional game last week, and it was just going to be the matter of which team would be able to sustain that emotion and carry it over this game. And I think the experience of the Hamilton Tiger Cats has been the one factor that's led them to a victory here this afternoon.
A 40-yard gain on that pass to Rick House. 2:29 remaining in the ball game. 1st and 10. Movement at the line of scrimmage. Penalty flags fly, and Damon Allen stepped away from the quarterback. Didn't have the football.
Procedure, Edmonton number 67.
Rod Conniff is guilty of the procedure call. What a year it's been for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, starting the season 1-5, and then facing a 14-point deficit going into the second game of the 2-game total point Eastern Final, falling behind by 26, overcoming that to defeat the Toronto Argonauts, and then routing the Edmonton Eskimos, the heavy favorites, in the Grey Cup game. Howard Fields knocked down the throw. It will be 2nd and 15.
Well, that's just an example of those Ticat linebackers are dropping awful deep. They're playing that zone defense, and you've got to be very, very accurate to throw it 25 yards down the field and get it between the deep backs and the linebackers. That's very hard to do, especially now. They're not worried about that 10-yard pass. It's not going to hurt them.
The only thing I'm disappointed in this afternoon is that Harold Ballard didn't show up at the BC Place Stadium with the Tiger that he paraded to center ice at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto last night.
I'm sure Harold will have something to say after this ball game. He knew they were going to win. That's what he says.
Damon Allen completes it to Kelly. He loses the football. Everybody going after it. It's still loose, and finally picked up by Doug Allen. And he is stopped by Jim Rockford.
I thought it was a soccer game.
Well, this has been anything but the tidiest football game of the year, but with that ball bouncing all over the place, the Edmonton Eskimos, Doug Allen, finally comes up with it.
Kelly makes the catch, but what the hit. Boy, he took a heck of a hit from Howard Fields, and now the ball is loose. It's everywhere. It looks like Paul Bennett even tried to kick it. Doug Allen picks it up. Rockford brings him down, but the thing that people don't realize is Hugh Campbell was concerned about the youth of his football club. As you see, Harold Ballard's got to be a very, very happy man. Al Bruno has stuck with those veterans, makes very few changes. And I think that there's not many football fans or people in the country that don't understand. You win with experience, and they have the experience on their side today.
Well, as Pat Marsden said at the start of the telecast, as Harold Ballard goes down to field level and gets quite an ovation from the spectators here at BC Place Stadium. As Pat said, when the players were introduced, you could see the intensity on the face of the Edmonton Eskimos. They were all pumped up, and it was a businesslike approach by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They've been through it on 2 previous occasions. They came out here with a job to do, and they did it.
And most of them were here for those other 2 losses, and that's the key. They knew coming in they did not want to go down 3 in a row, and they did everything in their power, and it's come out their way.
Damon Allen will run the football to the 11-yard line. He will get about 6 or 7 yards with 1:53 remaining. You know,